First of all, you need to add your videos to the project. So you click on Add Media, Files and Folders, and then you go and find your basic video files. So if you're doing a project, basically you just need to bring in some shots you've taken in order to practice in the framework of this basic moves tutorial. So I'm going to import the whole folder, and it appears in my project assets pop out menu. So when I double click this file, I can see the shots. I can also see them as a list if I wish. So, okay, what are the basic moves we need to do? Well, one basic move that you need to do is a simple drag and drop. So for drag and drop, I simply drag the file, click on the file, hold down the mouse, and bring it over to the tracks. And when I drop it, it's there. Now, one of these pop-outs came up, so let's spend a short time on it. This dialog window says, clip being dropped contains solid background color. Do you want to apply video merge on this clip? The video merge effect automatically determines the background of the selected clip and makes it transparent. Now, this sounds very strange, so I will say no, even though I'm not fully sure what they mean. So there you have it. You have something on the timeline. Now to see it, you can press play. Or you can press space on your keyboard. So the space bar on your keyboard and the play button here have exactly the same function. Now, how do we navigate on this timeline? First of all, I'd like you to learn how to zoom in and zoom out. This is a very useful function. If you press plus on your keyboard, it will magnify, it will zoom in into your clip. And if you press the minus sign on your keyboard, it will zoom out. So please go ahead and try zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Now, mind you, you can do exactly the same thing if you drag this button here, which is essentially the same thing. So if you prefer, if you're the shortcut kind of cool guy who likes to, do things very fast, you better do plus minus. But if you're comfortable with this slider, then just use it. Alright, so now that you can drag and drop, you can zoom in, zoom out, the play button. Let's spend a little moment on the playhead. So this red line with the blue handle is called the playhead. We use it to scroll around in our movie. So as you see, I can scroll around in this right now. Another way to navigate the playhead is to use the page up, page down button. So on your keyboard, try to find PG up, PG down button. This is for Windows only. So page up, page down will jump from clip to clip. So please go ahead and try it. The next thing we need to learn is how to resize the windows to get a better view of the timeline. So if you click here, your cursor, if you hold the mouse over this line separating the two windows, your cursor becomes a double arrow kind of shape. And if you click and drag, you can make the top part smaller, and that gives you more visibility on the lower part. So I'd like you now to have a close look at the tracks. So here we have a video 2, audio 2, video 1, audio 1, narration, soundtrack. If, however, we go over to the other end of the timeline, we also have a scroll bar. So go ahead and see how many tracks you have by default. Seems to me that by default you have 3 video tracks, 3 audio tracks, and the narration and the soundtrack. So please check if you have all of those. Now if you need space because you're using more tracks, you can use these little arrows to collapse or expand the track. This again is a very useful little thing because sometimes you will need space. For example, if I start adding more videos and I want to start stacking them, it can be a very good idea to only expand the ones I'm currently working on and to leave the rest collapsed, because this way I have simply more space. So when you put videos on top of each other, this is called stacking. And you're always going to see the video on top. So in case we would have 3 video clips stacked, right now we're only seeing the top one, which has my face close to the camera. If I move it away, we see the middle one, which has me sitting in a chair, and if I move this away, we see me holding a number. So that's how we stack things. Okay, so I'm gonna undo these stacks and I'm simply gonna line up my shots on the timeline next to each other, because I want to show you how you can trim your clips. So if you want to shorten the duration of a clip, let's use, for example, this one. Let's say I want to see this Roman number 4, but only until here. Then if you navigate to the end of the clip, your cursor becomes this red bracket. And if you click and drag, you can shorten the clip simply by clicking and dragging. Another way to achieve what I wanted is to simply split or cut the clip. Now, here's something very important, and I'd like you to observe carefully what I'm doing. Now, none of my clips are selected, so everything has a nice pastel color. In order to do something on the clips, I need to first select them. So again, to select them, I click on them. If I click this little pair of scissors here now, I'm going to split the clip. So now what happened is that the second half is selected, the first half is not selected, but they are split. So if I hit delete now, nothing happens. Why is that? Because it's not selected. So I select it, hit delete, and I end up with the same result as I did with trimming. So to shorten your clips, 2 solutions: split clip or trim. Okay, go ahead and try it. And finally, I will show you how the preview window works. So another way to select a part of a clip you want to use is by double clicking on it here in Project Assets, and then you get this little window. What does this window do? This is a preview monitor. You can play the clip, and you can also decide which part of the clip you need by simply dragging these points. So now, as you see, I selected this part of the clip. So if I drag it to the timeline, it's only gonna give us the selected part and not the whole clip. Another way to use this monitor is to scroll in the video, click on the in point, scroll in the video or play the video. Let's say I want to stop here. Set the out point and dragging it to the timeline. So two ways to quickly decide which part of the clip you want to use. So now I'm gonna show you how to delete clips. You simply drag over them, they all get selected, and you hit delete. And there you have it. Here are the basic moves for editing. Alright, happy editing!